trap that I would never fall for as a seasoned young woman in this world is the belief that men are somehow not as intelligent as women. It's exactly this belief that allows women to give men so much grace when they don't need it. I think that women, my personal opinion, women outpace men when it comes to book smarts and intellect in that way. But men outpace women completely in an intelligence that is derived from a place that's a bit more dark. Strategy, competition, and calculation. I believe men are intelligent because they have the ability to be very strategic, very calculated, and very competitive. This is the thing that, so I think many women are running into with men is that they are.
Hold up. Let me say this. I see where she's trying to go with this, but I can guarantee you from experience that there's a woman out there right now that's out strategizing and and more competitive than a man from a dark space. There are countless stories of women. I mean, now we're in the podcast era. There are countless stories out there about women setting men up. I mean, Cardi B is a perfect example who talks about, from the dark lifestyle that she was living and how she was setting men up, stealing from them, robbing them, drugging them. You know, I do believe men do this as well. But, it seems like she's trying to say men outpace women in the dark space. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I never have. I think when a person is determined to be dark, whether it's a man or a woman, they have the intellectual ability or just the conniving heart to do it. And if that's what their mind is made up to do, man or woman, they're going to get out there and get it done. But let me let her finish.
They think because they are smarter intellectually than a man that they will somehow be able to manage and or think they can outplay a man. But the reason that they don't is because men are dark. They're calculated, they're strategic.
Hold up. I got to stop her again. Every every human being is capable of being dark. I just told my buddy last week, it's like everybody's playing each other. In fact, I just covered a video last week. I reacted to a video of a young woman. She said she was in her early 20s. I think she might even been 20. Saying how she used divorced men, like how she thinks she's actually getting over on them. And she's not. And then at the same time, I said how men think they're getting over on women and they're not because the women are using them. It's like it's a game. It's a dark game and everybody's getting played. I just said this. But she's convinced that, men are dark like this in ways that women aren't. And I've always said for the women who really think like women aren't bad, those are the ones that give such bad advice because they don't really know how dark women can be, or either they ignore it, See, I know men can be dark. You know what I'm saying? I've heard conversations about how men play women and what the things they do. I also know from experience, because I'm into women, how dark women can be. The things that they do, the strategies that they come up with to lure men into their traps and into their agenda. So I'm gonna let her finish, but yeah, she wrong.
They're very competitive. And where they lack in intellect, they absolutely make up in those three areas. Women in
She's not
general,
as
and
seasoned as she
historically, and
thinks
this
she
is,
is.
some of these things change over time, but I do think in general, women are a bit more like collaborative when it comes to work. And not the mean ones, but the more so like average woman who's not putting herself on a pedestal every day. Because you thought because you were smarter than him that you were going to be able to outplay that man. But they've been doing this a lot longer. You know? They have a wisdom in the dark arts and the dark psychology. Like, honestly, this is how I avoided getting played 99% of the time because I never doubted a man's ability to be intelligent. I never doubted a man's ability to
And you
recognize the
shouldn't,
things that he was doing
because he's
that were
capable.
just wrong and didn't make sense. And at the end of the day, if you're doing things that are wrong or don't make sense, and even if you're unaware of that, then to me, that's a moral and character flaw, and I'm
Absolutely.
not going to stay with you anyways. So, yeah, that's just one of those things that if no one ever told you, that's the tea, that's the truth. Please stop thinking that you're smarter than men There are different kinds of intelligence, and just because you think that your IQ is higher than his, you might still end up the loser in a situation. And a lot of times women do, because the strategy that you lack it because you have a heart.
Yeah.
Men's hearts don't operate the same. They love for different reasons.
The constant idea that women are just so pure, so loving. They're not mean, they're not evil, they don't strategize, they don't try to get over, they don't hurt people. Only men are that dark. I mean, it's just all lies. You know, you got Delilah in the Bible, you have Potiphar's wife in the Bible setting up Joseph because he wouldn't even sleep with her. It's nothing, this is not new. Jezebel is in the Bible for a reason. She says she's seasoned, but it's like, this is what happens when we're not humble, right? Hopefully someone would teach her, like, sis, women are just as evil, just as conniving. Like, stop it. But until people are willing to admit that they're wrong, then they'll just keep going with their narratives. But she's like, yeah, men's heart are different. Nah, we're all wired to do what God has designed us to do, but we all have the capability of being evil. Let's just keep it a buck. So her argument collapsed quickly, But there's this narrative that women have about. I've said this another, like there are a lot of women who just don't view men properly, and they don't mind admitting that. They don't mind that. And this, I do think what she did say about like not underestimating, what men would do. That's a great way to be. But just assuming that men are that way, girl, please. That's crazy. You already played yourself thinking that women aren't, because now that and here's a point I'll make before I play this video. In sex trafficking, it's known that they actually use women to lure other women, because women are actually, they use their they play on other women, because women will think like, oh, women wouldn't want to hurt me, so she's not going to set me up, and boom, you set up in a trap by a woman. The Epstein files, they think it was just Epstein. No, Giselle, his girlfriend, was part of that perversion and that sickness too. It's like, yeah, man. She got it wrong, but let's play this.
Men working. They're not on Instagram talking about bullshit the way y'all be talking about bullshit. Men work. Men work. They don't have opinions on Instagram. They don't have opinions on Instagram.
See, I'm telling you, like, there is a world and a circle of women who don't want to hear anything from men or about men. They don't value you unless you have some resources to give them, unless there's something that they can get from you. They don't value you. And you got to be aware that these women are out there, man. And this is, and I want to be very clear, like, I don't share this for people to be like, oh, women are evil. No, men and women are capable of a gross level of evil. The Bible says the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. That's what it said in the book of Jeremiah. And it wasn't just talking about men. It was talking about men and women. The heart is desperately evil. It didn't say that there's a heart for men and a heart for women. No, the heart is desperately, it's deceitful and desperate. Like, it desires to flush out its wickedness. So when I hear these things from women, I don't go back and forth with people. I do my best not to. There's been times I've been caught up emotionally in conversations and I had to grow from it. But when I hear this, like, oh, men don't have opinions on Instagram, I'm sure it was a man who created Instagram, so you're giving your opinion on a platform that a man created. Like that, like the type of, it's just so much ignorance out here, from men and women, and somebody got to push back against it. And from time to time, I'll get on my soapbox and I'll push back against it. I'm gonna let you in on a conversation. So there's this guy from the gym, and some of us will hang out from time to time outside of the gym. And the buddy was like, yeah, man, DC is the only place that you should that you can exclusively date black women. And he put He said this, and I'm like, bro, what? Are you serious? You too smart. Like, this guy got his doctorate. I'm like, you too smart to say something this foolish. DC is the only place you can exclusively date black women. Bro, there are beautiful black women in all places around the United States. What do you mean? And that's the nonsense that I'm talking about. Like, men and women are flushing out foolishness and wickedness from their heart all the time. It's not just men, it's men and women. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If it's a man, he's saying something foolish, I'm gonna have something to say about it. And if it's a woman saying something foolish, I'm gonna have something to say about it. But thinking that it's just men, no, I'm gonna speak up and speak up for men and make sure I push back against the narrative that men, we're just these dark people, we're just these dark humans, and we out here doing dark things to women. No, it's all people doing dark things, and there are men who are doing upright things the same way there are women doing upright things. But I don't put anything past anybody. Let me take a breath and be done with the conversation. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Don't forget to connect with the brand at www.thereshopebrand.com, www.thereshopebrand.com. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next video.